Glad to know you're still there. Now it's time to delve into the social media world. Let's see what's trending and what people are saying about it. And Mercy's right here to guide us through. Hello, Mercy.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Samson. How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay, let's... good morning and welcome to Social Media Boss. I'm Mercy Emmanuel. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, has said that the payment of ransom by families of kidnapped victims is fueling terrorism in Nigeria. Shehu said kidnapping will continue until Nigerians stop paying ransom and allow security agents to do their job. He said the first priority of most of them is to get their family back, and they are willing to pay. And these payments, whether anybody likes it or not, will continue to fuel terrorism. We have to learn from experience in other lands that when you pay, you are fueling terrorism, and it will go on and on. And you also recall that like 3 months ago, the Senate passed a bill seeking to amend Terrorism Act 2013, as well as prohibit payment of ransom to kidnappers in the country.
Yes.
So Samson and Margaret, I understand paying ransom to kidnappers will only give this will give the kidnappers more funds to acquire more weapons, and again we are in danger.
Yes.
But I'm not saying what what Garba Shehu said is totally wrong. It's correct. But again, what do you want parents? What do you want mothers, fathers, sisters, uncle? What do you want them to do when they find themselves in this situation? Because the truth is, most Nigerians have lost their faith in our security apparatus. So what do you want them to do when they find themselves in their shoe? When the primary assignment of the government is to secure life and property of the citizens. So what do you want them to do?
I think Garba Shehu, said something that is quite understandable, but he didn't address the root cause of the issue, and that's where the problem lies.
Exactly.
The average Nigerian knows this, that yes, the more you pay ransom, the more these kidnappers would have more funds to either acquire ammunition or perpetrate more evil. But the question is, what's causing the rise or the spike in kidnapping in the first place? That's the root cause, and that's where he didn't address, because it's close to home. It's his principal who is who will get the chunk of the blame, or rather the entire blame, because he is the president and commander in chief. Now, for all of these talks, you don't not expect people to lay back or sit back and just fold their hands and expect a government or a security system that has failed them over and over, to now be the ones to rescue their loved ones. Do you know how many people we have in captivity that are probably even dead? The Yorubas have a saying that it's better one's child is dead than missing. Because you know quite well, oh, this child is gone, I can bear with the grief, than holding on to, the possibility of a false hope that the child is still alive when the child is dead, in terms of being missing. So for all of these talks, I think Garba Shehu has said what will probably be obtainable in reasonable climes, where lives and properties are guarded, but he hasn't addressed it, which is his principle has failed to secure the lives of Nigerians, and that's why they have to go about paying ransoms. Even if that bill gets passed into law and president assents to it, the truth of the matter is it won't deter Nigerians from paying, to save their loved ones. We have to be realistic. I'm sure if Garba Shehu is also, finds himself in such a scenario, he will pay to get his loved one out.
Of course.
No one prays for it, but if it's his child or his wife or whatever, I'm sure he would pay, to get it out. He won't just rely on, oh, we have the military to do that. So I think he stated the obvious, but he didn't address the root cause.
But before I get Bola's thoughts, we've heard testimonies of kidnapped victims that, okay, you hear that these kidnappers will threaten to kill them when their family cannot meet up with the ransom payment. So what do you expect them to do?
Exactly.
That's absolutely correct, and yeah, well said, Samson. The fact that you don't give your children food and you tell them not to go to the neighbor's house or steal or find some kind of way to feed themselves is pathetic, because irrespective of food is one basic need. Security is a basic need on the pyramid of needs. So what's that pyramid called now? Those are essential needs. So if you don't provide security for the people would find one way or the other to secure their people, their families, their properties. So if you're talking about people not paying ransom and you don't provide a means to get these people back, how many of the kidnapped victims have been rescued.
Exactly.
Apart from paying ransom,
Exactly.
apart from maybe running out of the coven or the kidnap, the forest and all of that, the kidnappers then. How many people have been rescued by Nigerian military force or Nigerian security apparatus?
And we've even had instances where you report cases to police and you hear things like, we don't have fuel in our vehicle.
And all of that, you know.
So what do you want?
These are the issues. I can't blame Nigerians. I mean, I don't pray to find myself there, but the truth is, if I do, I would, you know, have to source for funds to be able to get my loved one out.
We're just leaving the main issue and addressing the surface, you know. It's
ridiculous.
Let's hear what Nigerians are saying. At Rainchild said the negotiation with the government, who should be responsible for the lives of these people, is what, please? Then at St. Moore said, what do you expect them to do since the system failed its citizens? Then at Tosin 102 said, so what should they do? Watch their family die from the monster you created in the first place? And finally, at Osport said, why won't ransom be paid to the adopters when the government had failed woefully in its primary duty to safeguard the lives and properties of the citizens? The government should be held accountable and not finding excuses. I think this sums it up. It's the same thing we're saying. Every Nigerian understands that the government should secure life and properties of every citizen. But again, when they failed, we have to look for means to save our loved ones.
Exactly.
So let's move on. Nigeria footballer Ahmed Musa has asked Nigerian political office holders whose children school abroad how they felt running a system that they do not believe in. He said this in his official Instagram account. In a post, he captioned, "What a shame." In the write-up, Ahmed said, taking pictures in their schools and posting online while ASU is on strike? Like, seriously, how is this okay to you? You are running a system that you don't even believe in. Show me one Oyibo leader whose child is schooling in Nigeria. You know they touch you now. And when you return, Nigerian youth will gather and sing praises for Una. This comes after pictures of a Rivers State Governor Yesun Wike's son graduated from UK University. I'm not saying political office holders should not send their children to school abroad. Of course, they have the money, they should. Even normal Nigerian, a non-politician can decide to send his or her child to school abroad. But again, how is our own educational system like? If Nigeria educational system is okay, will you have to bother wasting money? Because it's actually very expensive. If you're not on scholarship, it's very expensive. So if our educational system is okay, will Nigerian politicians still go as far as sending their children to school abroad? So why not fix the system?
Well, that's relative, because sometimes it's not just because you want a better education or you want better opportunities that you go abroad. Sometimes it's just about networking, exposure, you know, travel experience and all of that. So we cannot just streamline it to the fact that it's because the educational system in the country is debilitating. Of course, that's a major issue. We don't have ASU is on strike. They've been on strike since like forever. So we know that that's a pressing issue, but there's also the other issue of holding these our leaders accountable, especially when it comes to medical tourism, when it comes to education and all of this. I think something should be put in the constitution that shows that if you are not if you're not doing so much for your constituents, or you're not doing so much in the position for which you have been held, then you shouldn't have access to all of these, you know, globetrotting and sending your children abroad to school and all of that.
And you know, it's not just Yesuwike, even from the president, the vice president, almost all the politicians, their children school abroad.
You know, the problem with this is the ambiguity in, you know, the concept of freedom. There's the freedom of movement. So
exactly,
when you try to infuse that, it looks like you're impeding on that, you know, fundamental rights. And the same thing would
but for the peculiar situation we have in Nigeria, well, we might want to consider that.
I understand what you mean by peculiar situation, but again, you know, the constitution we are operating on is similar to what you have you know, in the United States and what have you, in terms of freedom and all those things, right?
Do we really have that
But
freedom?
exactly, that's another thing. I think at the end of the day, I don't even have issues with politicians sending their awards abroad. You know, as you've said, it's not necessarily strictly because
Better
of better
education
education.
system.
There could be networking and all of
Okay,
that.
but sorry. Bola mentioned something that she mentioned educational tourism. So how many foreigners are coming to Nigeria to school?
well, maybe not
talking about-
Nigeria, but you have in other neighboring countries.
Are coming to how many? Do you want to compare it to the rate of Nigerians moving
Exactly.
to other countries
Now
to
that's
school?
another
Nigerians are
issue.
schooling in Ghana. Nigerians are going to Chad to school.
Cotonou.
Neighboring countries.
Yeah,
So how many foreigners are coming to Nigeria to school?
That's another issue. I think at the end of the day, we just need to, you know, work on our
Fix the
educational system, fix it in terms of revitalization of our universities, make them autonomous. More importantly, you know, just ensure that the facilities are up to date.
And again, someone said ASU is becoming like an annual festival. Do you agree?
There should be a serious embargo on this global tourism. This what's it called? Medical tourism and educational tourism. Really, aside the fact that we need to fix our education system, something needs to be done. Whether not, maybe not in the constitution, but some form of restrictions need to be placed.
Let's
Laws
take
have to
some
govern the
comments.
Yeah, oh, comments.
Yes,
Okay. I was gonna
Atnedu
say
said
the
this
quote.
is the shame is monumental, but the truth is they're no send. It's all about them and what they benefit. Then the boss said, as much as I want to criticize the leaders, the youth have a fair share on the problem facing the country. They have the enlightened to know that they have the right to live as well as to be governed well. But what do I know? Then at Olariwaji said, I totally agree with you. I think there should be a law binding people holding political posts to have their children's school here in Nigeria. Maybe that will put them on their toes.
Exactly. I totally agree.
I think this is actually the solution.
Yes, I think it is, because that way you would feel the pulse of people. You
Yes.
know what the students in Nigeria are going through, and you wouldn't want that for your children. Okay, let's wrap it up with a quote of the day, and this is by Dale Carnegie. Says, develop success from failures, and discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. Of course, we know that there is no success without failures. Those are the major ingredients. You fall, you
You
rise,
rise again.
you know,
You
and
keep moving.
keep moving.
Until you eat it.
We knew.
Messi is becoming one of those motivational.
Keep moving.
All right, we'll wrap it up on that note. Thank you so much for being a part of iBrand Daybreak today. We sure hope that we've been able to set the pace and the tone for the rest of the day. My name is Omobolanle Adeshui. Enjoy the rest of your day.
My name is Mercy Emmanuel. Have a fantastic day.
So have a great day. I'm Samson Olede.